Hello, 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 and welcome to the stream. We will be continuing on with the Intervallo now, and we will be continuing specifically on relics and the sign. With that in mind, let's get right on into it, shall we? Let's see, what do we got waiting for us? Hohenheim brought us to what looked like a research lab lined with cables, rows of screens, and diagrams full of complex symbols and shapes. I ain't reading that. I didn't know there was a place like this in the House of Spiders. Assumedly renovated. This is a forward base constructed by Limbus Company following Operation Spiderpire. It did not exist prior to the house's fall. It is intended for additional backdoor investigation and research into irregular phenomena observed during the operation. Irregular phenomena? Any and all phenomena? An example. Research subjects such as a spatial analysis of the correlation between the emergence of Sinner 11's sign and the manifestation of possible future. Oh. Looking around, I spotted Sinclair and a group of researchers surrounding him, the same people who had dragged him off earlier. They were accompanied by a gaggle of sinners who had tagged along to either watch the show or kill some time while they took a breather after work. Hohenheim, how long will the examination take? With Sinclair's biometric assessment concluded, the analyzer device should be available for the relic now. Which means that it should be finished in an hour from now, at the latest. The scabbard rattled again at the mention of an hour. I don't know why or how, but the way it swayed almost felt like a child trembling. It's moving again. Come along, Ryoshu. I expect you will want to witness the procedure. Fine. Ryoshu and Hohenheim headed off to the side. The examination was probably going to start immediately. Time to get to Sinclair, then. Wait. I was making my way towards Sinclair, who was getting bombarded with questions, when an unexpected figure behind a pillar caught my eye. It was Vespa Crabro, with a big piece of paper covered in a crooked handwriting taped on his back. Snack thief? Ah, manager. Karan snacks. Mr. Stringbean ate up all of them. Sorry, but I think there's been some misunderstanding. Ver, kick his butt. Not only is this matter not worth pointing fingers over, but Karan also shares some of the responsibility for leaving them out on the table unattended. Still, I would prefer you exercise more care next time, or you'll put me in a tough spot. Did he eat one while he was saying that? Karan? Karan, super sulky mode engage, not talking for half a day. Deploying super pass bitter candy. Beep beep, mode disabled. Cute. I'm not sure if this is an appropriate request, but may I remove the paper from my back now? It's a little inconvenient for me. Karan forgives this time. Next time, no mercy. Best make sure she doesn't listen to the radio channel again. Virgilius looked on with an inscrutable expression as Karan peeled the snack thief sign off Vespa's back. Make sure to remember this, so I don't have to think I'm burning through what little candy chance I have left on such trivial nonsense. Thank you. Vespa gave a polite thanks, but he was already picking something off another plate and stuffing it into his mouth. Gotta keep that body in shape. Wait a minute. I was saving that for later. I assumed you were being picky. Rowdia and picky are not two words. Well, now you know, yet I still see you gobbling up my share. He took my snack too. Ver, kick his butt. Rodion Romanovich. I am aware that half of the total snack budget allocated to each sinner is being funneled into your snacking expenses, and now you're raiding the LCE supplies as well. Chill, that's totes been agreed upon, okay? Besides, that's that, and this is the mother. Ooh, ooh, okay. The lines on Virgilius's brow deeper than usual today, hoping to help him out of this endless cycle of snack-related headaches and satisfy my own nagging curiosity. I drew near our guide and I'm assuming communicated with him. Did we learn anything about Sinclair's sign? So I'd say is inquiring about the outcome of the research on the slide. Extremely valid, by the way, Merritt. That hurt me. I've heard from the researchers, but nothing of particular significance came out of that observation of the sign. Has so far been limited to 2 individuals, the manager and Sinclair. Due to the limited accessibility of the phenomenon, the only verifiable information so far has been its existence. Researching that which cannot be observed is bound to be difficult. Faust has a point. Aside from Sinclair, none of the sinners can actually see the sign. And the same would go for the researchers. Even Sonia said only a select few people could perceive it. If there were more individuals bearing signs, there would be a wider pool for a comparative analysis of the statistical samples to narrow down the scope. However, records indicate no suitable references exist. At present, the research is limited to reducing variables such as whether or not the irregular phenomena are tied to the location where the battle took place. By individuals bearing signs, do you mean people like Demian and Senson? Wait, then could those guys do what Sinclair did? Pull in some superpower future selves and just wreck everything? Even Sonya? I should step in and put an end to this subject before Rhodia gets the blues. I don't think so, from what Ishmael and Faust reported back then. Right, Sinclair from the future said each sign carries a different power, I think. Maybe, you know, those layers of light rings Demian used to finish off Cromer, or Sanson bringing us into his story. Those could be it. Aye, that doth seem plausible. So none of that information is information we can confirm yet. Correct, as you have stated, any discussion of this subject would not venture beyond the realm of wild speculation. Nothing has been proven yet, ergo, fear would be an unnecessary response at present. This is, at best, grounded in supposition, but it would seem that the researchers are coaxing forth a hypothesis from which the vestiges left in the wake of Sinclair's future self. Oh, that bit about the sign maybe being some singularity or whatever, yeah? The precise position of the hypothesis was that the fundamental principles of the sign's working may be equivalent to those of the singularities or relics. But as no actionable evidence was obtained from Sinclair, there is presently no means by which this hypothesis may be validated. I see. Then nothing came out of them dragging Sinclair off for that research. Oh, you also thought I was being dragged off, but still let it happen anyway? Ah, no, I mean... I'm kidding. Just thought I'd try going along with the mood. The old Sinclair wouldn't have even thought to joke around like that. He's really changed lately. For the better, I think. So, did anything happen that we should worry about? I stuck close to him just in case. Nothing serious came up. Just took some blood and a small skin sample. Oh, and they were also checking if the sign reacts to electrical stimulation. Yeah, and, I had to fill out some questionnaires, too. Things like, please describe what you remember from the battle exactly as it happened, or list the sensations you felt when you regained consciousness. And your memories of that moment have yet to return? No, I don't know if they'll ever come back, actually. Faust said they only exist within my future self, so... Wait. But for my future self to even have those memories, shouldn't I carry them in the first place? Which comes first? A paradox, it would seem. In such a case. That Sinclair is merely one branch of many possible futures. If the future unfurls into boundless branches by means of ceaseless bifurcation, then the body of information that constitutes a certain future would scatter into grains more fleeting than dust, too diminished to ever reverse their course and trace their path back to the self that now exists. Is that the theory suggested? Not a certainty, but a plausible interpretation. Here you go again. More of that nonsense only you lot understand. Aye, memory or not, that future guy still came out of him, didn't he? Then some part of him's got to be left in there somewhere, yeah? Like muscle memory or whatever. Perhaps he can still pull off some of those tricks from back then. Tricks from back then? Heard you kicked off proper out there. Even pulled out that trick you picked up from that plastered old geezer, right? Not just that, he was using the Hmong technique quite effortlessly, too. What? That glowing ring thing? Yep, the glowing ring thing. He had 2 of them coiled around his weapon. He used the glowing ring thing? This is the first time I'm hearing anything about it. Alright, so what exactly is the glowing ring thing, anyone? Maybe some technique that enhances physical capability? I mean, I guess that flashy aura that makes you real tough's one part of it, but there's gotta be more, right? Dunno. Could be a secret fingered thing they pass down to their members. Technique, gear, something like that. Look at it. That Black Coney leader, that Lei Hang guy, and the nurse fathers we fought. A whole lot of them fingers, ain't they? That notion seems to unravel, for even among the LCD, there were those who came to wield it. And Virgilius, too. So what, only the proper hard people can use it? Some posh top-end trick, is it? Without anyone in particular prompting it, the sinners slowly turned their gaze toward Virgilius and Vespa. I only learned to wield it from my team leader, too. I have a sensory understanding of Shin, but I can claim nothing too profound. However, what I can spare are some rumors, so they are all without proper sources. Rumors? They circulated among elite fixers and association leadership that there exists a power called Shin, capable of enhancing the body without having to pay expensive upkeep costs. A rumor among fixers, sayest thou? Yes, even the technique to manifest it, how-to tips, really, is spread through hearsay. Oh yeah, that tracks. The super rookie column in the latest mag bonus vid, bro was really popping off of it. Straight up aura farmed with the shiny Hmong wrapped around the weapon. It must be that mine eyes are yet privy to such material in a video. Wait, you serious? It's in the latest issue. Literally on the videotape in the back. Maybe you missed it? Videotape? Alas, for many a week I have been stranded from Mephi, reaving me of a chance to read not only the prior chronicle, but the latest one as well. Woe is me! When I return, I shall feast through the night upon those noble exploits of adventuring fixers! As Don Quixote dramatically spiraled into a state of utter dejection, Otis cut into the conversation, her gaze narrowing with suspicion. From what I recall, the Mantle of Shin grants its users a high degree of physical enhancement. Yes, we've been over that. There is no such thing as reinforcement without supplies. No power of that magnitude comes without an equivalent cost to wield it. That power relies on emotion and will for manifestation. Its output is not consistent like prosthesis and augmentation. And depending on how it is used, the consequence it demands can reach levels comparable to the ego you use. You mean to say that it exacts a toll upon the mind? I can walk you through the fundamentals if you'd like. From what I observed, it appeared to be a technique reserved for those of considerable strength. At our current level, is it not unreasonable to assume that we could make use of it? Regarding that, our team leader has been conducting intensive research. And according to her, physical strength itself has little bearing on one's ability to learn and wield Shin. Whew. As the Yellow Harpoon says, it is, in essence, a power that can be learned by almost anyone, provided they know the proper method of training. Vespa's brows visibly twitched the moment Yellow Harpoon left Virgilius's lips. Yeah, doesn't seem like he's a big fan of his own title, the Yellow Harpoon. Well, it fits, I think. He's got those yellow stripes on his clothes, and he uses a harpoon, too. Can he really argue with that? If I were to exaggerate, even Sinner Yisong's pre-contract self could manage to learn it. Why must this self of mine be chosen as a point of comparison? Well, because you're the whippiest one here. Don't let it get to you. Ah. Even so, it would be a mistake to assume it's a power anyone can grasp with ease. As long as you are bound by contract as sinners, your ability to wield it will be severely limited. Unless you rely on particular identities or come up with an extraordinary circumstance. Shame. That would have been useful. Hey, what about me? Can I learn it too? Kira, who had been fidgeting with her fingers, raised an arm and asked as though she couldn't hold the question back any longer. Come to think of it, the middle nurse father didn't use any Shin or Mong. Papa never taught me how to use it. He always said I could get stronger without a stupid crutch like that. Ha! It wasn't that he didn't teach you, he couldn't. He was a man who probably had never once reflected upon his own sins. A piece of trash like him would be incapable of even comprehending such a power in the first place. Vespa's response always comes back dripping with venomous hatred whenever that conversation turns to the topic of the fingers. Kira must have noticed too, or perhaps he simply couldn't find the right words to push back. Either way, she held her tongue, her expression settling into a blend of frustration and something that looked a little too close to sadness. If you want to reduce it to a yes or no, then yes, you will be able to learn it with the odds in your favor. That is, assuming that the company decides to tolerate your continued existence. I already said I get it. As it stands, you're nothing more than a pending case of disposal, closer to a threat than you are an ally, strictly speaking. Don't get comfortable because the manager and the sinners treat you with lenience. Step out of line, and you will be the one who pays the price. There was nothing in what Virgilius said that I could argue with. Kira had been a member of the House of Spiders. She murdered scores of LCE researchers. And left us with plenty of memories we'd rather not revisit. For now, we're just working together. Not contesting that decision doesn't mean we have no hard feelings toward her. Leaving Kira alone with her thoughts, the sinners slipped back into their own business, snacks, idle chatter, and conversations about whatever had happened around LCE. The examination is concluded. I suppose it won't be an issue to let you hear the results together. And before we knew it, Hohenheim and Ryoshu returned. Okay, well, so far so good. I'm sure I'm about to get hit in the face with feelings, though. Oh, yes, I most definitely am. Okay, well, here we go. To present the conclusion first, no, the notion of the sword being a sentient one is incorrect. The locus of the will is not the blade, but the scabbard. An ego forged in a rather paradoxical nature. Yes, that would be most appropriate description. The most appropriate description. Not a sentient sword, huh? Ryoshu's grumpy dismissal made the scabbard quiver almost as if it had taken offense. Somehow, I felt like I could understand what Hohenheim meant by will now. It was a reunion of sorts, one that gave both a tinge of sadness and hope. If the scabbard has its own will, does that mean the owner of that will can be resurrected? It is too premature to deliberate on the matter. The state of existence under question is not one that may be defined as death at the moment. I assume they asked whether it can be revived, or brought back to life, so to speak. Even supposing that survival is a fixed variable, and the reconstitution of the original corporeal body falls within the realm of theoretical possibility, the probability approaches zero given the limits of today's technology and conditions. We researchers are inclined to entertain even infinitesimal chances, but the terminology of the lay people like yourself, such as the prospect, would be impossible, wouldn't it? There is no need to fixate on the impossibilities of the present, Manager Dante. Such matters are reserved for us scientists to hold on to. Right. Ah, but we may have uncovered a thread, something that could lead to restoring Ryoshu's memories, though, again, that too is merely a possibility. Hello, hello! Welcome to the stream, courageous spotter. A pleasure to have you here. And to that end, yes, further analysis on the scabbard itself would be necessary. Coordinate with Alan for your next duty. He should still be in the Ring Nurse Father's quarters. That will be all. Hohenheim cut himself off there, clamping his mouse as if any further exchange might scatter and mess up the theories he'd constructed. I didn't fully read that. Alright then, before we go, anyone want to tag along? Munching on food, averting their gaze, the sinners were pretending they weren't interested at all. But going by the way their forks had long since stopped moving, it was pretty clear to me that they had been intently listening in our conversation. Where are we to go? Ah, right, sorry. Forgot the rest of you weren't there with us earlier. Faust, Don Quixote, Ryoshu, and I have been checking where each back door leads. And Kira. Oh, and Kira too. Very good. Good work, Dante. The prisoner of war, executive manager? We talking about me? Yeah, I guess I'm working with them too, yeah. Best to remember to tread carefully. Should you cause even the slightest harm to the executive manager, you will be held accountable without exception. Yeah, sure, whatevs. Kira needled at Otis with a mocking pout, but oddly enough, she didn't appear particularly irritated. Anyway, I think it'd be better if we had a few more people, just to be safe. One of the doors we went into earlier led straight to the ring's corridor. That was a close call. Otis and Heathcliff's hands shot up the moment I finished speaking. I would very much like to accompany you, executive manager. I knew I could rely on you, Otis. Your recognition of my loyalty honors me, executive manager. I, Otis, understand better than anyone your concern about the peril of working with the prisoner of war so liable to betray— Oh, mother. To have your indispensable self proceed with only a handful of soldiers under your command, this cannot stand. I'm afraid I won't be able to focus on other duties without personally seeing to your safety. Oh, holy glaze! I get it, Otis. You've made your point clear enough. Not keen on how I just keel over the moment you summon me. Feels a bit dodgy, that. Better I stick by you and scrap it out myself. Very valid, Heathcliff. You probably don't need me to come along, then. I guess you can just summon the rest of us like you did earlier, if it hits the fan. As always, as always. A research yet unfinished holds my efforts. Haha, I don't think I can be of much help wherever you're going. I'll pass. I will follow if that is your order, manager. No, it's fine. Just get some rest. It'll probably be okay. I can always summon them again if things get too dangerous. It's starting to feel like that's not going to be possible. For now, I should go see Alan again. Okay, that clears the first part. And now we are going down to... No, why did you name it the dog? Oh, no. Okay, well, let's lock in, shall we? 1, 2, 3... 4, 5, 6, 7. In we go. Ah, you've arrived. I was waiting for you. We sifted through and isolated the doors with the highest probability of leading into the Rings Gallery. The next step would be to enter the alternate door you mentioned, but... Hold up a sec. I was actually gatekeeping more stuff. Huh? Gatekeeping. Are you saying you have more to tell about gates? Doors? Yep. That door over there? Pretty sure it connects to the N-Corp's nest. I saw Albina going in, all hyped about some canned whatever it is. And that wooden door with bandages wrapped around the handle, Papa'd go in there to cross out vengeances. From what the book said, it's probably a turf protected by a thumb subsidiary or something. Unlike earlier, when she offered only vague snippets, even about just a single door. Kira was now feeding Alan a stream of intel that seemed solid even to someone as clueless about the back door as me. She's far more cooperative than anticipated, even after that Alan character roughed her up, from what I hear. Yeah, can something. Yep, you'd think she'd clam up out of spite. I wonder if she's changed her mind about cooperating with us. Nevertheless, we mustn't let our guard down, Executive Manager. There's no telling when she'll turn on us. I don't think she'll turn on us. She needs friends. Freaking... I can literally hear everything you're saying, you know? Alright then, based on the intel, please proceed by investigating the safest doors first. As for the high-risk ones, I'll continue checking and let you know which ones you need to enter. Alan tinkered with the devices around him and flashed a couple of doors of blue light. Guess that means we start with those. Where do you guys want to go first? They all look about the same, and just start with the closest one. Well, Alan did say that these are the safest ones, so it shouldn't matter which one. Just as I reached for the nearest door, as Heathcliff told me to, Ryoshu suddenly veered off, stopping in front of another one that stood a few steps apart. This door. It feels familiar. You recognize that door? I think I passed through it a few times when I was little. Hardly had Ryoshu stopped speaking when a fragmented memory, painted over in parts, slipped into my mind. Sorry, it hurt a lot, didn't it? Oh no. I should have finished my homework faster. Oh, I know. Let's go for a walk. But I don't recall much about it. That memory just now, could it be tied to Arya? Let's start with that door. No, not Saru. Okay, this one, yeah? Here we go. Impatient as ever, Heathcliff shoved the door open and strode in first. The rest of us followed, including Kira and the other sinners. And this place is... Judging by its state, it seems to be a welfare facility located within a nest, most likely a park. Every sod walking here is dragging some animal along. Means they've got money to burn. Proper rich lot, this place. The walk the past Ryoshu mentioned in her memory, and the sight of the people fussing over their pets. The pieces clicked together, and I voiced the other memory I saw back at the House of Spiders. Did you ever come here with a puppy named Saru? Indeed, a normal place. For now. Yeah, I remember that. Not a puppy, though. Saru was a bit bigger by then. Sorry, it hurt a lot, didn't it? I should have finished my homework faster. Oh. Why isn't she getting any better? I gave her lots to eat. Oh, I know. Want to go for walkies? You love walkies, don't you, Saru? Oh, okay. There's this workshop Dad always visits. The door there's connected to a park. We can go right now. Ryoshu's childhood memory burned bright in my vision before passing. That was her as a kid? Verily, such gentleness doth seem most unlike thee, young Ryoshu. Hey, Clock, who said you could show them my memories willy-nilly? No, come on, you know it's not something I can control. GG. Back in the House of Spiders, I was the only one who could see the vision of Ryoshi's past. This time, though, her memories seemed to manifest for everyone around, just like what we experienced in H-Corp with Hong Lu. Which probably means... Why are y'all staring at me? That's so random. Did you not see that just now? See what? You guys zoning out together? I guess it doesn't apply to Kira. Then again, unlike how it was between Lin Daiyu and Hong Lu, Kira doesn't have any direct connection to Ryoshu. I guess it makes sense. Was that adorable hound thy companion of old, young Ryoshu? Indeed, my one and only best friend. And because of that, Saru would be locked away in the vault every time I had to depart on an assignment, with a spiral driven through her. The first ever leash, looking back, it might have been kinder fate she died sooner. To inflict such a cruelty upon a voiceless animal, how can such wickedness be born? What happened to Saru, in the end? She died before her time. I don't recall why, but there was this day when Saru wouldn't stop whimpering in pain, and I shut myself in my room, crying. You were? Not someone else? Who else? Of course it was me. Even after witnessing the fragment of memory, Heathcliff looked utterly unconvinced. And while I was grieving, Callisto offered a solution, said he would give me a gift the next day. And what I received was... something he called the Beastborn Blade, a Tonto that would whine and yelp in Saru's voice with every swing. Ew, no way. I always knew there was something creepy with that Robo-Unk. So that's how he killed your dog, huh? No, he didn't kill Saru. That Tonto was alive. Did you just say alive? Alright, nutter, that psycho. Her eyes were embedded in it like adornments. They'd stare at me in accusation. The tiny heart beat as though it was quaking with fear. It was a horrible sight, and I felt pity. So I shortened what remained of her time with my own hands. Got me thinking after hearing all of that. Why do you still mess with that art thing, then? Let's be honest, after seeing something like that, you'd want to steer well clear, yeah? Yeah, it's Cruel. Right, those things he called artworks were also cursed. Straight up nightmare fuel. Like, I haven't really checked out other ring artworks outside of Albina and her nurse fathers, so maybe I'm just a noob when it comes to all of that. But yeah, their stuff never gave me any art vibes for real. I thought the same. Well, I was terrified at first, yet as I learned more, there was some facets that suited my taste. Thou findest appeal in those grotesque creations? From what you've told me about Callisto, it looks like he failed to stick to his own advice. But there's something he always used to say. Art is wholly subjective, and thus one must never expect the understanding of others. The uncanny, the horrible. There's a beauty that lies in the grotesqueness of it all. Can't say I quite get it, but if you say so. Nah, but bloody... How do you end up getting used to that kind of thing? Why do you need to understand you're not an artist? I got used to it, but that guy Callisto's installation artworks caused night terrors and nightmares for... The scabbard moved, and Ryoshu came to a pause. It trembled, but there was at once a strange liveliness to it, as though it quivered between fear and anticipation. Night terrors, crying from nightmares in the House of Spiders? There was actually someone who got scared of ring stuff back in your day? I need to check something. We've seen enough here. Let's go back. Yeah, let's. Nothing else worth checking around here anyway. With the inspection complete, we quickly followed Ryoshu back. She stood in front of the artworks covered in sheets of cloth, lost in thought. Right here. There used to be a huge artwork displayed here. I don't know what kind of impulse struck him, but he went on about fussing, saying he needed practice so he wouldn't lose his touch. Mommy? What's wrong? Over there. Thought I told you to keep the exhibition in your room. Ah, you've returned, Yoshihide. I decided to attempt installation art of a somewhat large scale at this time, but I ran out of space in my gallery. Mommy, people were screaming. Dearest Yoshihide, Arya has reached an age where she may be introduced into the world of aesthetics. Surely this wouldn't be a problem? It would. You liking it and me acquiring the taste doesn't mean Arya will. Let's get you back to our room. I was hugging something in my arms. It was crying. Saru? No. Too big to be Saru. The lacerated memories can never be made whole, no matter how many fragments are glued together. We could tell Ryoshu everything we knew about Arya, but it'd never truly reach her. I see. This hollow void. This must be Arya. The sensation and emotion for what's been emptied begin to entangle with Ryoshu's memories. And that makes it possible for us to reminisce about Arya together. The soft rattle Arya gave seemed to show how pleased she was with this small step. Alright, time to check out the next door. We entered several more back doors that Ellen pointed out. But unfortunately, none of the places we ended up at stirred Ryoshu's memories any further. Pretty much nothing here. I think we're done. What the? How'd they get in here? Startled, Kira pointed ahead, where figures wearing animal masks were hauling what looked like massive lumps of flesh hidden behind a tent of sorts. Those ring assailants from before? Didst thou not say thou hast sealed that door earlier? How then do these villains come to stand before us once more? They probably infiltrated via an entirely separate route, another back door. As you can see, their objective appears to be the retrieval of the Ringner's father's artworks. Get on with it! We need to move as many pieces as we can before we pull out. Wait, but I thought Robo-Unk was washed? He's got so many fanboys and fangirls here. Ha! Does his artwork possess value in and of itself? Or is it just a case of posthumanist premium of the death effect? Think about it. Some of the pieces have already been taken. Of course, they are of little value to both our companies. Watching them sweating and struggling to drag those mediocre pieces with them. Pretty funny. But imagining how those pieces will be labeled with some pathetic notion of heritage connected to my name on their description plaques, pretty unsavory. They may be occupied with transporting those objects for now, but they will likely soon find cause to harm the Wayfarer and the LCE personnel stationed here, Executive Manager. It would be prudent to eliminate them without delay, considering the Ring's reputation. Otis is right. Better to wipe them out before they try anything stupid. Guys, looks like we've got another job to do. Lend me a hand. The radio didn't buzz with the sinner's replies this time, but it should be fine. Okay. Straight into it. And we lost that clash. Tough. Wait, who talked there? Was it Kira? It was Kira. Alrighty. Keep her going. We do have some memorial possessions to be burning. Alright, cool. Hit that. Getting the faint aroma built up will be essential here. This was an anticipated loss. Not favorable, but necessary. Ooh, very good. Keep her going. Nope, so far so good. A little bit more extra damage being put to use. Alright, well, we got staggered with Dawn, but I think we're okay. Let's see, what hand do I have for Heathcliff? Time to get on the horse. Go there. This all looks fine on a cursory glance, but I'd like a little bit of healing as well. Actually, hold on. No, we need that for the Kozin. We'll go one more turn without it. Good takedown. Straight into another takedown, most likely. Yep. What level is Kira actually? I haven't looked yet. Okay, let me see here really quick. Let's look at Kira skill. She is level 65. She's higher level than us, actually. Wow. And her status effect is the Middle Grudge. Okay. Let's get some healing in. The colors of her S2 are notable? Okay, I'll take a look at it. Nope, no, I will not take a look at it. Okay, With this, the last of the ring's infiltrators have been eradicated. Is that all of them? Ryoshu kept glancing around as if searching for someone, but fortunately, no other ring members were in sight. Right, but where were those lot coming from anyway? Weren't just the first wave? Had more of them legging it in from the back like they'd been lurking it somewhere else. According to the tracking logs recorded by the surveillance devices installed here, they appear to have crossed over from another corridor. Another corridor? What precisely does the designation another corridor refer to? The room resembling a shopping mall, the one filled with batches of toys on display. Your company, if I recall correctly, designated it as the Corridor of the Middle Nurse Father. Oh. I suggest we relocate there. Your assigned tasks here have been wrapped up. Oh, and before we set off, do you have any information to share in advance? We are planning to compile a comprehensive encyclopedia cataloging the notable characteristics of these corridors and all of their connection loci. Your cooperation will be most appreciated. Kira seemed to hesitate, gnawing on her nails as if she were going through an inner struggle. Before long, however, she snapped out of it like she just locked in on the decision. Sure, I got stuff to tell you. Like, lots of stuff. Some parts are kinda fuzzy, not gonna lie, but I can recall like 20 places clear enough. I mean, it was home for me and Papa, so... I got nothing. I never once regarded his room as a home, and my memories of it are all fragmented at best. The scabbard gave a faint, restless stir. Perhaps it wanted to comfort Ryoshu in the only way it could. And accompanied by its tremors, we began our move toward the corridor of the middle. Whew. Okay, I believe that's where we're going to go ahead and call it for now. We will pick this up again tomorrow. This might take multiple parts because there do be a lot of reading between it, but by all means, that's far from a complaint. So, with that in mind, I will see you next time. Take care.